Bravo Shoes is involved not so many things, but this is my niche that I took up, that I've gone through different challenges. There are so many ups and downs, and it's today that I want to share with different people about challenges that businesses have encountered, especially the entrepreneurs that are on the startup level, middle, and also on top. Okay. After doing this, Bravo Shoes came in place again and also started doing this. Myself, I'm a foot health practitioner, and I specialize in foot for many people who are living with diabetes. And many people do not know that there is what we call shoes for people living with diabetes. And I'm very good at that as well. I work with different diabetologists in the country, different physicians, and it is through this website, bravopodiatry.org, that I handle people living with diabetes. So if you're out there and you're living with diabetes, or you have a family member, just know that the first thing, once you're diagnosed with diabetes, the first thing you should change in your life is footwear. And I'm here to be a consultant on that line as well. This is something that most people do not know, that I also handle this. Apart from this as well, I went into supporting communities as well. I support communities with my migrant resources. This is my own small resources that I support these communities. I support children in education. I try to provide water filters to the communities once some little money comes to my pocket, and I do this myself without any support or without any donation anywhere. I know most people have been seeing me doing this, and they think Bravo has a donation from a white man or anyone out there, but I am only person doing this from different communities across the country with my little resources, with my team as you see them, even when the economy is very, very tough on us. But I've managed to do this and support communities. Why am I doing this? Is that my dream was to bring out a brand that not only looks at profiting, but only supports communities, right, in our country, Uganda. And this does not mean you have to be rich, but this was my dream. I started putting on my first pair of shoes when I was at the age of 15. And I said, yes, in my life, if I ever do business, I would definitely deal in school shoes. But my initial business was clothes. I was dealing in clothes, and I was bringing in very good clothes in Uganda until 2006, when I changed it to the brand of footwear. And again, guys, I wanted also to be a person who owns a brand, because I've learned that the world is run by brands. And it is through this compassionate, the sentimental attachment that I have on my brand, Bravo Shoes, that I am still standing today, even amidst so many challenges. So these are three things that I deal in, that I'm passionate about, that I know, as many people have asked me, and I've told them, I have actually not begun. I am yet to begin, because I know the journey of entrepreneurship takes so many years, takes a long time. The gestation period is so long that we can only survive with the resilience, persistence, and perseverance. And I've persevered through all these tough times, guys. I may have showed you all my sites. You're seeing what I'm doing. I'm not doing this, that all is well, but I've also encountered so many challenges along the way. Yes. Now, as a business person, you know that I'm sharing this story. I was affected by COVID, heavily COVID. And as I was affected heavily by COVID, we spent close to 3 years without having any cash flow, not any income as a business, because we purely deal in footwear for business. When we went for people living with diabetes, we lost over 25 people living with diabetes that I was handling. And these are all our clients that were being handled by us. And that was also another big challenge that encountered with us. So having a business, which is a specialized business for schools, and you wake up in the morning and the whole schools are closed, and you are not even sure of when the schools are going to open. We sank into a dilemma. I had a container that came in. This container actually left Mombasa when the country was closed. Came into customs, and it went into a customs bonded warehouse, and the same container spent a year plus. Now, you can imagine how much damage that I encountered as a business. Of course, I ran to the banks. No bank could borrow or lend me, because at that time, we had bank loans. Definitely, you know what everybody went through. We lost all the properties. We lost everything. And we went down. Because the banks came in, they wanted their money. You have no cash flow. Went to the bank and even asked to help us remove the stocks. And the bank says, you have no cash flow and you're a high risk. And even we can't predict when the schools will ever open. So we got everywhere and nobody could help, because at that moment they saw your business was a useless business. Now, this is a dream that you have. This is a dream you start. This is something you've done for many years, but here you're struck with a big challenge. And everybody starts looking at you as a useless business. During COVID, you know that COVIDX was a hot cake. I know many people contacted me and said, look, we can deal in COVIDX. But I told my colleague, I said, how can I deal in COVIDX? People know me as Bravo Shoes. Now, COVIDX is sold at 6,000, and now I have to sell it 100,000 to make a lot of money. I told the colleague, I said, I will never go for such a business. How will people see me? Yes, these are decisions I took. Maybe some people say I was too slow, I was sluggish, and I was not a decision maker as an entrepreneur. But I chose not to go for that business because I was like, I am an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs, yes, you may take advantage of the situation, but you can't take advantage of where people are suffering and you're doing that kind of business. I chose not to go for it. Years passed. It is 5 years ago, COVID. When you tell somebody that I'm still going through some challenges, somebody will tell you, but COVID ended a long time ago. And I know most of our entrepreneurs have faced the same, which comes as an embarrassment. But sometimes I look at the ignorance of the person who is telling you the same thing. People think that we have recovered at this moment. I went to the equity. I went to companies that are saying they can provide equity. The same companies, I have approached so many of them when my stocks were stuck. The companies say, we can give you money you want. You must pay us in 2 years, in 1 year, in 6 months. Then I said, I have come in as a recovery. How can you help us? Then again, I realized that as I faced and lost a lot of properties, everything in COVID, which person will come in with all that I've built? I am established. I am connected to EFRIS. I have systems in place. As an entrepreneur, which person will come in to realize that you've built your legacy, you built your name, you built your address, everything that you need. And somebody comes in and says, we need collateral security. Now, with all the challenges that I've faced as a brand, as a company, nobody wants to look at how you've built your business for some quite good time, and they use that to align you and rebuild you again. This is a challenge that I've seen. That as businesses, yes, we start up and look for money. And somebody would be able to come and kind of get your idea and build you. Me, I've grown a business, not the times where people were supporting the startups. I am beyond the startups. I'm even beyond the years where somebody would even support me. Now, a business is started up, good enough if you're lucky out there and you're given money. And then you become a startup and you successfully start up. There comes the middle age. This is like a child where a parent is supporting you. You reach 10 years, 12. Then you go to adolescence or puberty. And then somebody doesn't know that in this case, you are going through puberty where your body, your breasts are coming out as a woman. A man, you're getting an election. Sorry to use bad words, guys. You're getting an erection here that is uncontrollable because you're going through a stage as a man. And then somebody has not showed you that you have to go through this. When you get this, how do you mitigate it? So you have to fight through yourself as an individual. It's the same as a business. A business goes through, gets to start, gets rolling. In between there, it gets a challenge. Where do you run to? That's a very big gap that we do not have. Okay, you have gone through that stage, and you're at the helm of that big business. You built your legacy, you built your address, you built everything that takes for a business. And then at that time, you say, where do I run to for help? It's like when you're in marriage and you're 50 years, and somebody says, where do I run as a big man that I have marriage issues? It's the same as a business. Where do you go? Where do you find help? Where a business, for example, like mine, that it is somewhere standing already, but was struck or has been struck with COVID. And in this case, wherever you run, people say, wow, but you thought you were big. Oh, wow, we thought you're out there. Wow, you have the bank issues, you have the tax man on your doorstep, and everybody is at your doorstep. Now, there comes another person who says, I have the money, but I want to save you. And then this person is not ready to look at your history and say, if I come in to save you or give you money and then give you a grace period or even walk a journey with you until when your business can recap again, it's not available in this country and it's not there. Every person who comes in to save us as a business, very well established, they will look at what collateral security you can have. But I'm also asking, if I have no money, if I have the brain, my business has gone down, I am still available, my system is in place, I am able to build my business again. Who can come in and save this business or save you as an entrepreneur? In this case, that person is not there. And this is where most of our entrepreneurs lose it. You lose it out, not that you don't have the brain, but you can't use your realities. You can't use your brain again for somebody to trust you and say, let's put back your business. And this is why most businesses do not live to see their 5th birthday. And this is why most businesses also in Uganda that have been well established and they all collapse. And everybody will say, yes, you can collapse and go, close you up again, and we can't trust you again to revamp your business. I talked about the taxman, guys. A taxman is a partner in our business that I must accept. I know most entrepreneurs who say, oh, URA is a problem. Oh, the taxman is a problem. Yes, me, what I mastered first in place is that in my business, my other business partner is my URA, Uganda Revenue Authority. I'm not just here to speak for Uganda Revenue Authority, but I'm here to show you that once you take your taxman as well as your partner, probably at one time, you're able to accept and sit down and mitigate solutions with your taxman. And I've been there, guys. But how did I make it, even if I'm to tell you, even when I'm still battling with them? I first of all took my taxman as a partner in my business, understood how I should behave in case of any challenges. I would tell you that URA has been a patient person to me than even my bankers. People will agree with me or not. That URA, I consider even government, URA, as a more patient person to my side than even the banks or the money lenders we've gone through. How has this been possible? As a business person, even with my small business, guys, don't look at me as a big person. I'm a small business person who believes that the journey is always long. I have always had my documentation very clear, well aligned. From day one, there is no document of my business you'll ask and you will not get. Even a simple letter that I've ever written to URA, I have it many years ago. Even a simple mail that comes from URA, whether it is a threatening mail, I know sometimes how they can behave the other side. Anything communicating with me, I have had my email since 25 years ago. It's the same email I communicate with URA. That even if they send me an email, I will reply to URA and I tell them, yes, I recognize the email and I will come to your office and I'll have this matter resolved, even when I'm away. I have done this for the past life, that I respect anyone who communicates to me as a small business. When URA calls me or sends me a message or calls me on my phone, I will be there to receive their phone call and I will explain myself. They'll call me to the head office. I'll go there. I'll go to my next office, which is at Boulevard. And when I'm not satisfied, I'll go to the office at the headquarters. And even when I'm not satisfied with my area manager or my manager, I'll ask for a commissioner general. And this commissioner general, I mean, not commissioner general, I'll ask for the commissioner of that department. And I will go in and I seek dialogue with this commissioner. If this commissioner has not helped me, there is a commissioner on top of him. I'll go to this office. And through my challenges, guys, I've realized that URA is a very public office that I've never seen. This is an experience I'm telling you. How public? There's no office I would go and I would not be admitted. I would just go in and I'll look for the person who is supposed to be there. I would even ask the same people, who is your manager? Who is your boss? I have failed dialogue with you, and I will go in. And why do I do this? I am fighting for my business to be saved. I am fighting to save my business. I have moved an extra mile because I have realized sometimes going through third parties, we end up into problems, and these third parties will definitely run away and they will not save your business. Even your own accountant or auditor, they will run away because you've created these mistakes and these problems with you. I have gone to your land, I've learned where my mistakes have been, and I've been able to correct them. Now, even URA, I go with them with evidence because I am documented. I have my stocks right. I have my emails. I have my letters. That even at a threat, I am able to write to URA in a dialogue form. Something I also learned, guys, that I'm a person who doesn't believe in litigation. I believe in mediation. As an entrepreneur, mediation means when I receive a letter, I will not threaten anyone to sue them. I'll seek dialogue with them and I will sit down with them to resolve a matter. There is no challenge in business that has no solution. At one time, I met somebody who came and very rough on me. I told them, is this a murder case? He says, no. Is it a rape case? He says, no. Is it treason? No. Is it subversion? No. Then I told him, there's nothing I can't have a solution with. And this has helped me save myself all this period of business, even when I'm still struggling, guys. When I talk about struggling, guys, that business is a struggle all the time, but resilience keeps me as a business person because I have a big vision and mission for my business, which is long term, which is many years ahead, which today I tell people that I will start my business at the age of 65. I am laying the foundation and I'm still moving. Because no matter the stage you're at in business, you're going to crash. Whether you're intelligent, whether you're smarter, there's a crashing point. It doesn't mean that there are people who are smarter than us. Even Elon Musk, they have crashed somewhere. If you have been seeing him now in the US with politics, with Trump, he has crashed because he made a mistake and dealt with Trump. He made a mistake and went politics. He made a mistake and is acting the way he acts. Maybe at this time, Tesla, the business may have gone down a little bit. He has made a mistake as Elon Musk. It doesn't mean as entrepreneurs we don't make mistakes. But the only mistake that we always have as well is having a plan B. I am against people who say plan B. I don't have plan B and I will never have plan B. I only have plan A. And plan A is my vision. When you have your plan A, you're able to garnish it, go through the tough times, accept to go through it, and always polish it and garnish it better. When you have plan B, you always have plan C. In 5 years, they will ask you, what have you done? Nothing. In 10 years, nothing. Same with people who have changed jobs. They have changed jobs for 10 times. They have nothing. You say you've looked at jobs for 10 times. You've got jobs and changed jobs for 20 years. What have you made? Nothing. Entrepreneurs get to their business, they change it, they make it better, they have many things that you can do. If you're selling tomatoes, you can look at selling tomatoes, you can turn it into tomato juice, you can turn it into tomato paste, you can turn it into whichever you can do. There is no business that you cannot grow in the same way, but make it better every day, and then we grow. And this is why we see so many businesses disappearing in our country, because of these challenges that we are facing. Yes, we may blame that we don't have people to help us. There is nobody to help you. It is quite unfortunate. There are many companies that have come in. They are only running for businesses that are quick money. Yes, they would give you business in 2 years, money over 500 million. You run to this business, and after a year, this business crashes. Are they ready to be patient with you, to share profit with you, to share loss with you, and to help you revamp when you get a problem? I'm not making entrepreneurship difficult, guys, but I'm trying to show you the toughness or the tough skin of an entrepreneur. So these challenges we face, we make mistakes, and nobody will blame you. Always people will blame you, sorry. But never blame yourself and never resent yourself of asking myself, why me? Just go back to a drawing board and say, what did I make? Where did I go wrong? And when you go wrong, it's not a problem. We grow by mistakes. I have made mistakes in Bravo, and I've resolved mistakes. I'm still making more mistakes until when I die. But how we emerge out of these mistakes is what matters. It's what is important. So these mistakes we make, one is that when you make a business, know who your partners are. First partner, guys, is your tax man, before even your supplier, before your customer. First of all, when you open up a business, the tax man must come on your door. Taxes will never go away. That one, I have known it. I have taken a funny decision, guys, that every day when I make my little sales, one pair, I've sold one pair or two, I will immediately subject my VAT to URI on a daily basis. That's the solution I've found out in my years. That I must pay their VAT on a daily. I just raise my PRN. I don't want their money in my business. If I put it on PN, I am sending it out so that by end of month, their money is out. Now I battle my landlord. I can battle my supplier. But my landlord, my taxman is out. What does that mean? The best way to run out of business is to allow a taxman on your doorstep. So can I keep my taxman the other side? Pay my small VAT so that I know I am able to come out of these challenges. Now, my resolving my matters, which I'm still resolving, I've resolved as well in URA, is that because I am well documented, I have my history. If they are to take a decision on me, they know that I've been paying taxes. I've not been an absentee taxpayer. I have been doing my returns, even if I know they are kubanjami. I have done my returns every 15th of the year, every 15th of every month. I put in my returns. Myself, I'm teaching myself on how to do returns. Yes, I'm using a professional accountant, but I make sure they do it. Even when I don't have money to pay, I go in and make sure I have done my returns. Now, the first problem you get with URA, the first thing, are you compliant? If you're compliant, the law says you're supposed to put in your returns every 15th. Have you done it? And in this case, I will be proud to sit with anyone and say, please, no matter how tough you're on me, I am a compliant client. Now, when you finish that, you're able to go for dialogue with URA. Where they have conflict resolution, even in URA, you're able to go there. I have that confidence, guys, that there's no office I can't enter in URA. The confidence with me is that I am a taxpayer. There's nobody who can take me out. I am among people who don't pay, who don't pay any bribe in this country. Because I've seen bribes are a killer in our businesses. Somebody tells you, give me 5 million so that I can kuia for you, and I save. The tax was 100 million. Give me 15 million. We give it 50 million. Then you're like, wow, I've given him 15 million. I've paid 50 to URA. I have saved 30. No, he doesn't give you the rate that URA does not confirm. If somebody says, I've given you this rate to pay your tax, which means it is up somewhere in the books of URA. Why don't I use my even 15 million and I save my business to top it up, and I make sure I don't have any history of problems? So we start our businesses as an entrepreneurs. We allow people who have no businesses to come and spoil your brands. I am not a victim, guys, by the way, but I've faced so many entrepreneurs whom I've tried to show what to do. Now, you give this bribe to somebody. This person takes the money, leaves your company in distress, leaves your company in problems. But you remember that you are the one who started your business alone. This person comes in to initiate you to start paying bribes while they are leaving your company in problems. Then somebody comes and tells you, give me some little money, I can do something in URA. He's leaving your company, your team, in more problems. Tomorrow he's going away. Now, why don't you use the 3 million, 2 million to go and negotiate with URA and say, please, I have 1 million. Help me. I revamp my business. I keep paying and I go in. You're giving it to an individual who is lying to you that you've gone the other side. Every meeting I have with URA, I have it on record. I write and we sign. I even have it on record to make sure that me, whatever I do, I am saving my business, because nobody started it for me. But I insulate myself with all this. Even when I have a bank loan or even I have a loan, I write it down that I borrowed money from this person. When URA comes to me, I say, I borrowed, I was paying a debt of this person, and the evidence is here. And then they'll say, wow, you're doing it, and this is it. So even people do not know that even a loan is a taxable, but you must prove that this loan was got from this person. If somebody is giving a loan, let them sign something for you so that you put in your system that I received this 50 million, 30 million from this person who has charged me interest or even no interest. And they are there to prove that they gave me this money. All these things, we are trying to protect our dream brands, our businesses. And in case of any problems, we are able to show ourselves and say, please, I am going through this stress. Please, I have this problem. Please, I borrowed this money from this person. It's what have helped me to do my business. They allow it. And as long as you prove this, same thing. Now, it becomes difficult when a business is big and has an internal problem financially, and everybody will look at you. And then we can't run to anywhere. Where most of these companies that have come, they have even now said, oh, we cannot, what we do, we don't take collateral security. We'll give you 500 million. But they want it in 2 years or in 1 year. Then you ask yourself, which business profit are you making that you must pay this money back in a shortest period of time? You have a taxman who is your partner. You have your suppliers who are your partners. You have rent. You have your employees who are your partners as well, because they take money from your business. But the person wants 500 million to start making profit, and they will give you at an interest that is high. And again, they call you and say, we are helping you as a business. Guys, gone are the days where the big businesses that are profiting highly are in Uganda. Only businesses that were ready to move through the systems, take it slow, go, build yourself until a certain level, where you can even have people who can lend you money without any interest. And then they are able to be patient, and you start paying them slowly. So in many years I've been in business, I have noticed that at a breeze point where a business are, few people will save you. They'll only save you when you have your own land title. But at a time point where you lose everything, and only what you're remaining with is your business and your name and your presence as an entrepreneur, that you're able to begin small. Myself, I started my business with 100,000 Uganda shillings. It's on record. That's what drives me, that I started my business with nothing. I can go back down and build my business again and make sure that all my systems are in place, and I will sit back again and I triumph. I know most people look at businesses, they're like, wow, he's been there. But even as entrepreneurs, we never share our stories with people out there who are ready to say, but you have been there. Have you faced challenges? Have you gone down? Have you suffered with URA? Me, I don't call it suffering, but have you encountered such challenges with the taxman? Have you gone through it? Can somebody honestly tell you how they have managed to keep the partner, the government in partner? Because at the end of the day, no matter the business you do, guys, even if you go back and get a job, URA will take PIU from you. It's obvious. We can't fail to sleep because of dreaming. But can we have this as a partner on board? Once you start seeing URA as a partner, first partner in your business, when you get problems, you even go and say, guys, this is the problem I have faced. My business is down. The seasons are low. The sales are no longer there. I am going through changing my business. But now, most of us, we abandon our teams, we go away. But things are changing, guys. They are changing and putting our NIN as our teen numbers. So where shall we run to? And everybody who tells you to run out of your business and go to the village, are you ready to go to the village? Even the local councils want tax from you. You will also have to pay. But how do we dump our dreams that are ready to blossom even after 30 years? Somebody wants you to drop your dream in 20 years, in 3 years. Then you ask people who are negative, oh, these things are no longer moving. Oh, test and preference has changed. Oh, that you are not taking a decision. Oh, you are slow. Oh, people who will always come are people who are negative, that they will tell you they have tried all these and they have failed. Let me give you something fun as well. At one time, I have my one friend who told me, I cannot sit in a shop and wait for customers, because for them, they believe they're chap, 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 chap. Today, the same friend who's the one who comes and says, Mpayo Mutwalo, give me 10,000 shillings for lunch. I said, why couldn't you remain making sure you're nurturing your business and don't hand over your business and don't throw it down? Today, you have nothing for the past 15 years ago. Resilience, guys, is the way to go. I know some people will say, but I may lose everything in the capital. I say, yes, you can go down, but don't lose your dream, and you can go through it at all times. Thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take much of your time. I know I'm timed, and I think I should be already in my time already. Thank you so much. I know the information is too much. I don't want to give people too much information, but we can always share it, and we can always, help you. Thank you.
Wow, what a story. Thank you so much for sharing. I know there are so many questions for them from the entrepreneurs on the call. I'll give them an opportunity to either unmute and ask directly or put it in the chat. But what I'm hearing is passion to really know why you're in this, whatever this is for you. conviction to stay the course even when things get very challenging. Help can come from the most unlikely sources. You've talked quite a bit about the Revenue Authority, and probably demystified for most people that they can be supportive, they can be collaborative, and they even more than banks. That's surprising for me to hear. And you also mentioned that the world is run by brands, which is true. These days, we still have the G8s and whatever, but we know that the real power are the people who are running powerful brands. You remind me of 2008. I remember during the financial crisis in the US, I recall Tesla at the time was not a known brand at all. They went to get to beg for a government stimulus package because government was bailing out some companies. But at the time, EVs were not a thing. It's not even a dream that people could catch. So I remember Elon Musk trying to beg, and the government was bailing out AIG, the insurance company at that time, a big one, and some other companies, but he stuck to his vision, he stuck to his conviction, and this is where he is. It's so very many lessons that I've picked up myself, but I'm eager to hear from the people on the call. Let's see, Lydia says you can go down, but don't lose your dream. Wow. This is a picture of, this is pure resilience. Thanks for sharing your truly inspiring story. How do you handle human resources, especially in the downtown times of business?
Wow, that's a great story. I mean, that's a great question. Thank you so much. It's one of the most disheartening, and I will attach emotions. It's very, very disheartening, especially when are you able to see my camera?
Yes, you can see
Yes.
us.
Yes, it's a very disheartening question, and very emotional to many people, and to entrepreneurs out there. I have suffered the same. I woke up one time and all this stuff had left because I couldn't afford taxes. I mean, I couldn't afford their monies. They all left. This is a team that I paid. This is a team I trained. This is a team that I put all to train them. But I am a very positive person in my kind of work that I do. And I believe that somebody goes, you will learn someone else that is good as well. In COVID, I took a long I never chased anyone out there because, sometimes it's hard to fire out with compassion. When you're a compassionate person, it's very difficult to fire. It becomes hard to fire anyone. I kept people. I knew it was tough. I knew they knew my vision. And at some point, nobody was interested. Of course, they have to go and look for what to fend for their families. So I woke up one morning and everybody has left. And guess what, guys? It's beats my understanding that even when we have taken so many people in school, so many children in school, even those who have bachelors, they have their masters, they have the degrees, guys. Somebody behaves like somebody, like a housemaid. I'm sorry to use this. We all complain that housemaids, she's been in my house, she disappeared, she didn't know. The same, even our young entrepreneur, I mean, our young professionals, they choose to go switch off phones. Even when they have company phones, they are not responsive. They go, they don't inform you, I have gone away. Then I still even wonder what kind of education our country is getting. Because there are things that we should train our people. That even when you're leaving your job, you hand over, or maybe you open say, I have to leave this job. Because at some point, wherever you go at one time, it will bounce back on you, and you have to go back wherever you left. So I woke up at one point and all my staff had left. I sat in my business alone. And I started looking for employees again, and I deployed. But I appreciate this situation because it trains us the best. It teaches us that at one point you'd be left alone with your vision. Nobody understands your vision. If you're married, you'll also realize that even your husband or your wife may not even understand your vision. They think maybe you're holding on to something that is not working. But you yourself, when you look at your mirror, you're like, no, I know I'm going through these challenges for 5 years. Then in the next 10 years, I'll be somewhere. And everybody will drop you out. Everybody will go. And when everybody goes, you think you're like, oh, I think I picked a wrong business, and you go. But I'm assuring you that at one point you may be left alone. But when you're resilient, because you know what you want in life, you will never fail. All these businesses, myself, I have known how KFC started at the age of 65. The man had retired. He sold his first franchise at the age of 88. That is 1952, because he started it in 1932. Whenever I have a challenge, I go back to the story of KFC, and I know what KFC has gone through. I have been to Germany. I've known about Liebe, the largest manufacturer of the largest cranes in the world. I have been to Mercedes in Germany. I've been to BMW. I've been to Bayern Munich, even when I don't like football. But I chose that brand to go and see how Arabs run these brands. I have been taken through the problems and the challenges we've gone through. I have seen how BMW, who are the largest manufacturers of the all engine planes in the world, and even the engines of the ships, they are the ones. I have learned the brands. So that I have known that no big brand doesn't go through problems. You're seeing Tesla today. They are going through challenges. I am on their footsteps, learning on how Teslas are going through the tough times. They are mocked, they are being challenged, but I know there's no brand that has not gone through problems. And the brands, we're not talking about Bravo shoes. We're talking about first, you, the brand. Can you accept to go through the tough times as you go through your businesses? And if you triumph or have a challenge, can you share it with people? If Enterprise Uganda comes and says, how have you made it? Don't give people wrong information. Because when you give people wrong information, which means you have not helped our entrepreneurs that are growing. Today, my last born is 17. My firstborn is 20 years. When they're on holidays, in school, holidays, they come and they are able to work. And how do I handle my children? I tell them, you are not my manager, you are not my accountant, you are not my nothing. You're only, I've given you a chance to be a sales boy. Don't sit in any office, don't sit in anything, you are the floor. Why? They should be at the forefront, at the floor, learn how to sell first. The rest is okay. So I'm training them first. Let me first learn how to sell. Being a boss is nothing. So I have used them at times when they are tough. They come in and work. They help me on human resource, and I pay them. Guys, I pay them. I don't start telling them how I am paying your school fees, and now you have to look for it here. No, I pay them. And I'm helping my sons also never to lack. By paying them the little, if it is 10,000 a day, I give it to them. So my sons, you find they have their money. When they are going to school, I don't give them pocket money. They have that money to use it as their pocket money. So I use them as a labor cheaper, but I pay them as well. At times where I don't have employees, my children have if you have less children who are still young, it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Vincent is saying, your story is so inspiring, especially with the startup capital of 100,000. Can you elaborate more on how you navigated around? I seem to be in the same boat, wondering how to get to the next level. You did mention bringing URA to the table as a partner, but what are some of the other things that you did to stay? Yes, you've now mentioned staff who left. What are some of the other things that you did to navigate those challenging times?
Well, I don't know, maybe sometimes this is my character of I live in the present moment. Maybe it's my character, okay? I don't suffer what happened 10 years ago, and I'm not ready to suffer what is happening tomorrow. What does this mean? We always suffer memory and imaginations. When I made a mistake 10 years ago or yesterday, I am all somebody is always grasping or lamenting of the challenges I faced yesterday. I pick up myself very fast and continue seeking assistance, even amidst with different people. If I'm disappointed with this person who thought would give him, like guys, it's the toughest thing is looking for money. At some point, I looked for money, and everybody will promise you money, they don't give it to you. At some point, the banks promise you money, and at the last point, they drop you down. The people who take me through the process of saying that we're going to give me a program. So if I fail here, I look for another solution. But what makes me stay stronger is that my brand should never go down. If I changed how my staff, I have left the staff that are expensive, I got the cheaper staff. I have cut costs. If I eat 2-3 meals, I've cut the meals and I've involved my staff that I have. I have made sure that I negotiate with my landlord to always be patient with me. What does it mean? That even when you have the money, the landlord should know that you had the money and you were paying on time. So I have time to negotiate because they know that I am now having challenges, I can be there. But don't show a character of where even when you have money, you've not paid your rent on time. Because these are things that save you later. If you have money, even you can pay your landlord 3 months. You have money, go and pay your landlord 3 months. When you have tough times, the landlord will use that and say, I did not pay you 3 months because I had the money. Now I am going through challenges. Can you be patient for me? If you're showing up with URA and you don't have any chupuli in URA, if you know that you are paying your taxes on time and then there's a problem, they will understand you. So show up in good times, guys. Entrepreneurs, when they get money, they are running to hide and buy plots of land because they think they are getting their money first. And they forget the partner will come and close you and will collapse your business. So entrepreneurs first put in place what businesses want. What does the business want for it to survive? Put your own personal desires at the back. A business with desires fails very fast. A business with vision lives longer. How? A vision is all-inclusive, while a desire is personal. So when you attach a vision to your business, it becomes easier for you to navigate all these challenges. But when you have a desire, this is where desire, I want money, I want this, and I want this. All the time your desire. This is where your desires come, even if you fail to pay your employees because you desire to get money. Some people say, my money. So in this case, when you're putting desires at the forefront, then you're losing out on your vision. A vision is all-inclusive. Includes your employees, includes your business partners, includes everybody that is part of your business, and make sure that your business is your all. So myself, I've made sure that I use these tactics. When I have money, I pay my landlord in a good way. When I have challenges, I will be there to go and negotiate with them and I buy my time. If I have my taxman and my money, I've said I'm paying my VAT every day and I've paid. When there's a challenge, they are ready to know my history. Even if they take me to courts of law, I'll be able to stand in front of the court and say, I am going through distress. I have been paying my little money. I have a problem with my business and I seek for help. And they will be there to listen to you. Don't seek help when you've not been good anywhere. And for you want people to be good to you. It will never happen. Have your past that is clean, where you're paying your taxes. When there are problems, you go and negotiate. And as I tell guys, when I'm talking about URA, I am not an agent of URA. I am not a spokesperson of URA, but I want to open the eyes of our entrepreneurs that no matter wherever you go, know that your first business partner is government. And government, who is URA, is your first business partner. Sort them out and know what to do next. You're buying your land, even with the money that whose VAT that you received, you have eaten that VAT, you've used it to buy land somewhere. Can you first look at your partner? That when you have your surplus, you can buy yourself. What does it mean? You can live longer in your business. I am an entrepreneur who will not pay my school fees of my children because I've not paid my landlord. Because the children can wait for a day or two. And then a customer will come and give me money and I pay fees. And then when the tax money is clear. So you need to look at the priority in this case. Where is the priority? Your family feeds on your business. Your children are happy because of your business. Your children are happy when you go back with bread home. So why do you prioritize, I'm sorry to say this, why do you prioritize family and fail to prioritize your job? Because your job, every family feeds on your job. Don't be the kind of, because when we were employed before, you say, no, jobs can change, family is better. But your husband is happy because you're employed. Your wife is happy because you're employed. Your children are getting school fees because you're employed. Can you make sure that you hold this to high esteem, that because of this job, your family is able to respect you as well? You're able even to have a place in your family because you have a job. If you're a man entrepreneur or you're a woman entrepreneur, even you're respected in your society. Even you can speak as a woman because you have potential. So can we prioritize and know what is my priority and who is my first partner in my business? Before you think about of how I started my business, can you think of your partners first? Because I'm seeing that many entrepreneurs, we are crying because of URA, of government. We're crying of maybe URSB. But I say, these are your first partners that will keep you in business or will kick you out of the business. Thank you.
Thank you. So we need, what is it called? An emotional bank account. You need to deposit in the bank account for the landlord, for your partners, so that when you face challenging times, you've paid something forward. You've paid integrity forward.
Absolutely.
You've paid
Absolutely.
trust forward. So you have something to draw from, right? That's really important. Someone is asking, are you doing this alone or do you have other partners? Do you have other equity shareholders in the business?
I don't have any share equity partners in business. This is my business. I started. As I've gone through tough times, I realized that some partners were very complicated to get on board with. Okay. And others were not ready to walk a journey with me. Others are looking at money in 1 year too. You know, we don't have development partners yet in this country, I'm sorry to say. We have money lenders who pretend to be supportive of our businesses, okay? They are not ready to say, we are supporting you for 5 years or 3 years, then we can start getting the profiting. This business is a long-term business. So in this case, myself, my partners were my bankers, like I told you, who took everything from me, but I saved my brand. As they take everything to me, I say, yes, they went. The mistake was not me. The mistake was COVID, which was natural. So we are bound to face challenges which are natural and challenges that are man-made. But how do we keep on? It is the resilience to say that you'll bring me down, I'll go up, will bring me down. Something that motivates me as well. Robert Kiyosaki, in his book, there's a book that before you quit your job, if you're an entrepreneur here and you're employed, look for that book called Before You Quit Your Job by Robert Kiyosaki. He says, I started at 9, failed at 9, succeeded at 9. What does it mean? He started the business. He failed at 9, succeeded at 9 at the same time. When you have a business, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, and master the game. When you're riding a bicycle, it brings you down first time, you ride it again. Second time, the third time, you are an expert that even the speed you use riding that bicycle, people will wonder whether you were born knowing this bicycle. It's the same how we do it in our own businesses, that we feel we started with love, with passion, and then somebody will not able to disorganize us as we go along doing our businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. That's so important. I am thinking of a tree that the longer you stay, the more challenges you weather, your roots are getting deeper. Then when you run off and do another business, you uproot this tree that was taking form and have to start again, but then have to keep growing, have to go through the same challenges. People call it school fees. So you end up paying several times over, as opposed to staying in one lane, growing that brand and getting better and better at it. Someone is asking, Emmanuel, You being a leader on the Casita board, how do you deal with the overwhelmingly more traders who do not want to mediate, rather use their numbers to cause chaos for the rest?
Yes, I'm an entrepreneur that has grown through that puts integrity as my number one. For Casita, I was a board member of Casita, and I went to Casita, and my passion was to for capacity building, and take our entrepreneurs out of ignorance. But when you're an entrepreneur that wishes for everyone good, you're bound to fail, especially with how we've been brought up. I resigned out of Casita, and I'm no longer a board member. It's about 2 years ago now, 1.5 or 2 years ago. I chose to resign out of the board because the board was not taking me to the direction that I wished. Because these are things I've been in business for a long time, and these are challenges members were facing. And instead of coming down to help them or change their mindset, people were accepting for them to go their way. So there's a big problem with our entrepreneurs because capacity building or change of mindset has not been invested in for a long time. And if we were to change this, then government must come in, or URA must come in and put in money to change the mindset of our business community. But again, as you know, when you move in groups and you are taken up by the group, I call it the street talk. You'll always go by the street talk, and you'll also be taken up. So as an individual, you feel, what do you want? Get information of people who have made it there. And once they give you this information, then don't accept the ignorance from someone else who uses the bribes for them to do their business. Because when you're in shit, nobody wants to rescue you, and nobody will be there to actually save you. So in that case, I resigned because of that challenge. Yes, somebody was asking me about the book. The book is called Before You Quit Your Job. Before You Quit Your Job by Robert Kiyosaki. I think you've got it. Melanie Nansena. That is the book, Before You Quit Your Job. There's someone who says, how do you separate business money from your personal money? Do you pay yourself? How long did it take for you to start you paying yourself? It's a very difficult situation. I have to be sincere with you guys. Paying yourself. Because sometimes you let the business expenses can be related to you. Paying your salary would be the greatest. But sometimes our needs are beyond the salaries that we can have. But you mark up, you say, this is the money. If you are pulled out maybe 1 million, then know that you must pull out 1 million per month, and that is your own salary. But if you don't have the salary out of the business, then you should know that you should take little out of this business. But if your problems are beyond your business, then your business will collapse. So putting up a salary is one of the best, because you also have to pay tax on it. So it's the greatest. You can choose not to be paid as well and let the business run if you have another income that can let you grow the business. Because you can run a business 10 years when you're not putting out any money. So don't look at greed, because you become greedy. I have to remove the money. I bought this land. You're buying a land of 20 million. Have you made that profit to make that profit? Then you're like, no, this is the money I'm paying for myself, for my business. Then you're not honest for your business. You will understand your business, that it can't afford to pay to buy a plot of land, 20 million. So why are you putting money out of that business, 20 million? So you're also running very fast, pulling money out of your business because you feel the business must give you money. So you're milking a cow that you're not feeding. So can you feed your business for a certain period of time? That if you're comfortable to see that I can pull out 10 million, it is not affecting my capital. And then when you're also being a salary, yes, you can put up some salary, maybe 500,000 or 200,000, and then stop at that. Then the rest, guys, not this. The rest, if you say I have bought fuel of 20,000 or 50, that's a business expense. And are you running as a business or as an individual? So if you are running as a business, there are expenses a business must meet. And if you're fueling a company car, that's your fuel. If you have bought lunch, indicated this is lunch allowance, like an employee, then for you stop there and say, my lunch is paid by my business. So in a month, it is 600,000. That is my salary. And then you also not stress, because your business is yours. It's like you're stressing your own legs, your own head at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Someone else is asking, Emmanuel, who has held your hand? Or on whose shoulders have you whose shoulders have helped you to climb as an entrepreneur? Who has mentored you in this process?
Is it the same person who says the local person? Somebody I'm saying the
Yeah,
local
local model or mentor, yes.
Local model, one, Wavamuno. I read his book, The African Entrepreneur, the story of the African entrepreneur. I've followed so much with Wavamuno. The resilience he has gone through. Remember, Wavamuno started business in tough times of Idi Amin Dada. I have always followed in his footsteps, guys, and I'm still doing the same. And of course, people will say, funny things on Sudil. I even have something I put in my office, putting value for your business by Sudil. Sudil started long ago as a merchant. Much as people would feel him that he has involved himself, whatever he's done, but he's maintained his business for so many years, this man. But of course, so many people don't want to learn a thing from him. Instead, they are among people who are coming in to shame him or to attack him. Me, in such an instance, I say, he's lived a legacy. I admire Sudil. Why? Sudil has 3 children. I think there are 3. 1 is passed. Okay? He has a lot of businesses. You've never met Mera. I mean, you've never met Mera. You've never met Rajiv. Okay, Rajiv would be there. Chak, but he's in business. You've never met Joshna Rupereria anywhere in his business. But his businesses are running. What does it mean? He has put up professionalism in his business. He has systems that is running his businesses. Sudil, people are talking about him. Sudil is the first man to have the first Forex Bureau in Uganda, Crane Forex Bureau. At that time, all banks were buying dollars because that policy of Bank of Uganda, only one person would bid. He is the one who bid it, and all dollars would pass through his Crane Bank. First man to have a Forex Bureau in the country. The first merchant. And most foreign Indians, whoever would come in this country, would look for the great businessman. And he was the only great businessman who was exposed. And they could go through him, and he showed them the way. So look at those advantages this man got. And then put up all his. And then he had some little money to buy whatever properties long ago. And then it puts him as one of the richest man who is $1.1 billion. $1.1 million, which means that is about 3,800 trillion or billions worth of Sudil. So these are the people I'm looking up to, that they have held their business long time. Then I will go to Cafe Javas as a brand. I know how Cafe Javas fought with Java House. I know how they got a case of where they are fighting for this market. I have listened to it. I have followed it. I have seen how Mandela works. Many people don't know who Mandela is. Any business he has put in place, there are systems. He's a foreign man, but he has done the business locally here. He has had his business run properly in a way that most people do not understand his product, Cafe Javas. I have gone deeper to understand what is the product of Cafe Javas. Maybe many people do not know why Cafe Javas is successful and why Nando's failed. And yet Nando's was going to be our local brand. So I go deeper, I understand, and I look at their footsteps. And these are some of the things I look up to, and I'm going to go to do. I don't copy, I learn. Most people want to copy. Once you copy, how are you ready to sustain the copy? Because you do not know my journey. Maybe my journey is 20 years ahead. For you want to make money in 3 years, and you'll collapse and you say, I am bewitched, or my competitor has kicked me out. I am a person who never goes to Butter to see what Butter does. Butter is 131 years. It is a brand. If Bravo chooses to take over Butter, I did not come over to take over Butter. I came to provide an option. And I'm running my journey. butter is running a journey. You cannot uproot something of 131 years. You need to go through the gestation period. You don't know the problems butter has gone through. But if you're ready to go through those problems, you also start your journey, move your journey, and go your journey. If you're coming to compete, then that's when you lose the money. Thank you.
Thank you. And someone is asking if you've considered diversifying your business, branching into complementary products, like belts, uniforms.
Yes. Now, I'm going into, okay, I would not call that as diversification. It's under the same classification, okay? When we're doing business, guys, we have what we call business classifications. I am under class 25. Under class 25 is under the registration of the trademarks and the brands. I am a trademark and I'm a brand, guys. And to behave like that, there are stages you have to go through. Now, I am into black footwear. I introduced shoes for people living with diabetes. I am not diversifying. I am expanding my classification. I am going into sports shoes. It's not diversification. I am still under my class. I go into belts. I am not diversifying. I am into still my class. I am expanding my class. So when I do am into footwear, I'm into footwear, but again, what does it entail for footwear? There are strings, there are polish, there's polish, there are brushes, shoe brush, everything. All that is expanding on my class, not diversification. Diversification is when I move from footwear, I am selling tires. I have diversified on the other route. People needed to understand this. If you're in your class, you're expanding your classification of your business. And then you're good to go. I hope somebody has understood my explanation.
Thank you for clarifying the difference. And then probably the last one, how big do you want this shoe company to be in 10 years? Are you aiming to buy a partner? Oh, okay, you've spoken about the better example, but yeah, how big do you want to be?
I want to be as big as larger than butter. But I have to be prepared, guys, to go through the gestation period. I have told you butter is 132 years. How many generations? I want to look at Bravo also having those generations when I'm gone, because I'm sure that I'm half of my years on this planet Earth, even maybe 3/4, okay? I have to go through the gestation period. I'm not looking at, are you aiming to buy butter or partner with butter? Why am I buying butter? Is he telling me that they want me to buy them? And why should I buy butter? Butter is a brand. I am a brand. Shell is a brand. Total is a brand. You get my point? So whether I can able to buy or not, that's not a point. My focus is Bravo shoes. And it's a brand of footwear for school shoes, people living with diabetes. And again, for also the casual shoes will be coming on board as well. That's my dream. Let me not focus on butter. Butter has a dream. The person who started butter has a dream. The generations are many. So I'm looking at that as well. In simple terms, I am not flexing an elephant. I am only flexing with myself. When you want to compete with your own self. Do not compete with your neighbors. Yes. Because you do not know the journey of a neighbor. Probably your neighbor is getting funding somewhere, free money. You got money from the bank. Are you going to do the same with them? So know what took you into business, know how you can do it better, provide a better option, garnish yourself, and make it there. There is no business you do that people have never done. It's how you garnish yourself, guys. As simple as that. It's how you garnish yourself. If you're lucky you've got a client, how are you going to handle this client to refer another client to you? How do you mitigate challenges with this client? Are you a person who says, Gobi Marao? Are you a person who says, goods once sold not returnable? Are you among people where people buy things and for you, like, as long as it has left my shop, I don't care? And this customer loses his money. He has bought a pair of shoes, it is damaged, and you say you not refund their money. He's bought an item from you, it is a defect, and you tell them, since I have. So if you are not the manufacturer, why do you sell things that are defective? Protect your clients, garnish yourself, and have your business run. There's no rocket science. We are not intelligent than you. It's because you chose not to go through the manual. Even the first manual is your body manual. Can you understand yourself? Can you imagine yourself understand how to do business? Can you not attach your egos and your emotions on your business? So when you touch it, you attach all of this, you blame your neighbor for bewitching you. Then you start using good money to look for bad money. That is getting money, take it to a witch doctor who has never even reached Kampala. You're giving them your money for them to help you to make more money. And yet, even when you made that money, they are the ones not who made for you that money. So that takes the intelligence and the wisdom that people lack. And again, also, I'm sorry to use this, you also get 300K. You take it to a pastor, and the pastor to help you. And then you're taking money to other people who have made their business because somebody has put up their church to collect money. You're also bringing money to your church on these lunch hours. You're taking the money to lunch hours, and then people are taking money from you. Then tomorrow you say, I have business problems. Why don't you get that 300, pay it on your landlord, or even reduce on your tax liability, and then sit down and then go through your businesses? Because at the end of the day, we spend a lot of money in useless things. Then a customer comes to you, he has brought an item that is defective, you don't want to refund the money. But you make a sale of an item, you go to Sheraton or Cafe Javas and borrow the money. Still, you've made the money and you've spent it. But now, what if I give you back the money or exchange your item and I know tomorrow you're coming back? Which means even behind you, there are 100 more customers from you. These are simple things, guys, that are applicable in a business that we don't need to go to school to learn these things. But once you understand it on your brain, start applying it in your firm. If you're greedy, egoistic, and with foolishness, and then with ignorance, then your business will do what? Will fail in these tough times. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. You remind me of one of my favorite definitions of a brand, which is that brands is what people say you are. You can spend so much time on logos, on their website, on all these aesthetics, but ultimately, the customer, whatever the customer says that you are, that's exactly who you are as a brand. So what you've said is really profound. Protect the customer. Yeah. So thank you so much. Esther says we need to talk. Esther, if you can share your number in the chat for Brian to take down. And then yes, we still we do have the business health check, so please ensure that you've registered your business for the complimentary business health check. It will look into all these aspects that Brian has been sharing. How is your customer service? How is your team? How are your sales? How are your finances or financial management system? So we look into all those and give you a report on your bill of health. Someone was asking, how do we advertise on this platform? Harriet, you shared your number. We'll take it and add it to the group of other entrepreneurs so that you can collaborate with them there. And with that, Brian, Esther shared her number.
Yeah,
You could share yours as well as you give us your parting shots.
Thank you so much, guys. And myself, I'm very honored. I'm very privileged of being allowed to come and here, and I share my honest story, guys. Me, I'm a very open person. I share my story that even time comes and I transit or die, whatever we would call it, people are able to really know that we got information. And having a privilege to get this education that you will never find from any school, it's one of the greatest we should have in Uganda. And these are benefits of COVID, much as COVID brought us challenges. And Enterprise Uganda is an amazing partner of everyone, I must say. And when I began, I said I'm an Empreteco, and I was very proud to have been part of the Empreteco training. It's an amazing, and me, I always share my experiences. I don't care where somebody says he got a challenge here, he got a loss here, his properties were all lost by the banks, he lost everything. Guys, I am sharing this, guys, to show you that even if you find me tomorrow successful, you will know that Bravo has been there and he honestly shares. In the blueprint, we all go through these challenges, and don't accept to die there because you feel you cannot speak out or you cannot seek help financially everywhere. Even as we're still seeking for financial partners out there that can partner with the brand or can partner with us, and then see how we can do business. So it's a pleasure to Enterprise Uganda, and thank you so much. Say hello to Ronald. I don't know whether Ronald is still with Enterprise Uganda. Ronald he was a great friend many years ago, and it's my pleasure being here once again. And I'd like to appreciate members who have kept here. It's not easy to keep on because information is taken by few, definitely. And I think you are the great winners who have kept on and keep on coming, and we'll be able to connect. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you, everyone. A lot of food for the brain to process and pick one or two things. Most times when you come from church on Sunday, you say, okay, it was a great sermon. But what makes it great is what you're going to do about it. So pick a couple of things, try it in your business. And then next time we meet, we'll have many things to celebrate. So have a good rest of the week and see you next time, same time for our next discussion. Have a good rest of the week.